the game Palworld has been hitting gamers by storm with some record concurrent player numbers, even among the top 5 of Steam's all-time records of concurrent players. But with that has come a lot of backlash. Now, if you don't know what Palworld is, it looks to me, I haven't played it yet, but it looks to me like a Fortnite meets Pokemon mashup. Interesting combo indeed, but a lot of people have been absolutely raving about it. But with that, a lot of people have been complaining as well. So let's go ahead and dive in and see what some of this is about. Now, first of all, I just appreciated this quote tweet here, because here you can see, okay, let's just take a look at this. Definitely see some Fortnite elements there. You're hitting some Pokemon looking creatures. Obviously this is a Twitter video, so the quality is less than good. But so he's hitting some monsters. I think you can have guns as well in this game. So yeah, this is very much Fortnite meets Pokemon, right? So the original tweet says, back in the 90s, I would have never guessed a top-selling game in 2024 would look this bad. PlayStation fans, you are not missing out on Palworld, because apparently this isn't on PlayStation. You can play it on PC or Xbox. So then the Carl of Dojima here, I completely agree with what he is saying here. He says the low IQ gamers don't play games. They just want nice graphics and to press X to win. I got a hobby for you then. Watch films. You drag gaming down. Thank you. Thank you. I've been saying this for years. I have been so sick of the gaming space being taken over by people who don't want video games to be video games. Now, whether or not I'm defending Palworld, I haven't played it. I don't give a crap. But the main principle here is I am so sick and tired of games being cinematic movies, and they're all like, they put all of their emphasis on over dramatic cutscenes and fancy graphics and scripted set pieces instead of letting video games be actual video games. They're scared to death somebody's gonna have a challenge. What's up with that, you know? Despite the fact that actual gamers have always loved to have a challenge, we love to retry things when we fail and keep going, keep pushing forward. I am so sick and tired of modern day gamers who expect everything to be babied down. They expect graphics to have to look like a movie, and they need all these fancy cutscenes and the focus to be on the story, the main focus, or they're out. Okay, well then be out. Let video games be video games again. Lower those budgets, lower the gaming budgets. Make video games a fun gameplay experience. Who gives a crap about dramatic stories and press X to win? And let's make this accessible to everybody. You can't have it too hard. Characters need to tell you where to go. You need on prompts all over the screen telling you what to do next, because, oh my goodness, can't use your brain, not in current day. All right, so there's also been a lot of controversy around if Palworld is using AI assets, right? So here we have Invertex, who says, heads up to anyone thinking of supporting / playing Palworld, who also cares about Gen AI issues. The CEO of that studio is full speed ahead on generative AI, frequently promotes it and tries to push it in his studio. Even made a game focused entirely around it using SD. So here you have, if you pass it through a filter of an AI, the image is often not of a specific thing. So maybe the copyright issue will be resolved. I was surprised to see that the world is actually moving in that direction. In about 30 years, the general public's perception of copyright may have changed considerably. Okay, and then the Palworld dude, he says, people who use Photoshop or Krista are not called digital artists, right? AI Illustrator is a hot topic. But what's even more frightening is when you call someone Illustrator, it seems like it's normal to refer to an AI illustrator. After AI becomes widespread, a new world will probably be born. Analog illustrator, painter, human painter, calculation, hand calculation industry, handicraft, animation, hand-drawn animation. A computer literally translates to a person who calculates. And it seems that in the past, it was actually a human being. Nowadays, it refers to electronic computers. So the time may not be too far when Illustrator refers to AI algorithms and software. Which Illustrator are you using? SD, Midjourney, and then here he's quote tweeted this. It's called Art Imposter. After many delays behind the scenes, it has finally been released. We are running GPU on our server, so we are definitely in the red. If you have never tried AI Illustrator generation, please take this opportunity. Mobile is free. Okay. So yeah, and here he goes, Pocket Pair. The result of introducing AI to improve work efficiency. Employees began to completely delegate their work to AI, but the quality was too high and they were disappointed. I'm having so much fun creating crazy AI that I'm not making any progress at all. Okay, I kind of have mixed feelings on the whole AI discussion. Now, if it is ripping other things, I'm not a huge fan, but I'm just going to be honest. And I am not even a fan of the concept of AI in general. I feel like I can be a bit of a conspiracy theorist. So I think AI can go too far into like iRobot or even demonic territory. And I don't like that. But in general, do I see how AI can help in game design, for example? This could really be huge for the indie space. I'm not a big fan of what AAA studios are doing with video games currently, right? Like I just said, most everything is focused on just being accessible to everyone. They're babying down gameplay experiences for the most part. Now, I do feel like Japanese games do a bit better, a lot better, but still, as a whole, what we're seeing from a lot of, especially Western AAA gaming studios, is this cinematic experience instead of an actual gaming experience. This Hollywood-esque gaming isn't the same as it used to be. I don't play hardly any mainstream games anymore. I just go to classic stuff or more smaller scale studio stuff. Lies of P, I've been playing that lately. I love that. But I don't play a whole lot of mainstream stuff these days. I play retro things, or we've got the Tomb Raider remasters coming out, and I'll definitely be playing those because they're very accurate and they're old school gameplay, right? Now, in the defense of this, and I'm going to say, though, when it comes to art, assets, things like that, of course, I would obviously prefer actual art as opposed to like art that people make and illustrate as opposed to AI software. I would definitely prefer that. But here we have in this case, this guy Tweezy says, everyone talking about Palworld and it using AI to make its designs. I feel like that's because AI is so prominent now. But people forget this game had a trailer featuring lots of the designs 3 years ago. This game didn't come out of nowhere and clearly had work put into it. All right, so then you see this from June 2021. All right. And then a lot of people are talking about copying because clearly, this took a lot of Fortnite inspiration, Pokemon inspiration. But then we have this tweet that says, so Palworld plagiarized Pokemon. But Pokemon took inspiration from Dragon Quest, double standard, go burr, which I agree. Because, I mean, if you're really going to look at this, you're going to look at these images. You can't get mad at other studios for being inspired by Pokemon and doing Pokemon inspirations in their games when Pokemon did the very same thing. A lot of these designs are, extremely similar, right? So this happens. This stuff happens. I do feel like, Pokemon here does have a lot more different of an art style, though. And I do think that Palworld definitely really went close with the art style of Pokemon. I will say that. And Fortnite, it very much looks like a huge copy of that. But I like video games to be video games. I like video games to be fun. When you look at the gameplay and you look at the actual dynamic of this game, it still is its own thing. So there's definitely some heavy inspiration there. I would prefer to have seen more of a unique art style. I would have preferred for this not to look so much like Fortnite or Pokemon. But hey, it is what it is. And I think that a lot of people are clearly enjoying the game. I haven't tried it yet, so I can't really have judgment on what I think of the game, but people are clearly enjoying it. I'll probably give it a try. And I just like video games to be fun and for video games to be video games again. And speaking again on the AI issue, going back to that, hey, if AI can help, especially with the programming side of things or even with the art side of things, we could see a lot of good indie games, because as things stand right now, the barrier of entry to make a game is pretty high. Now, we do have some tools that make it a little easier, like Game Maker, for example. But still, as a whole, it is still a pretty high barrier of entry. Now, what if people could make some really rad video games with the assistance of AI? And I can't believe I'm even saying this and I'm even open to it, but because I was like so firmly against AI in general, I would not even use an AI art generator. I was scared of it. I was like, this is demonic. But I'm kind of a little open to it. I'm hesitantly open to it, but I do think that this could change a lot of things for indie games, and I think that AI could in the future. We could, as a gamer, I want to play games that are fun, and if people if this lowers the barrier of entry to making games, and people can make some really fun, cool games, sign me up. I'll play them, And it really does take some of the, it puts more pressure on the mainstream studios, because if regular people are going to have access to be making these fun and intuitive games, then mainstream studios are going to have to actually focus on making games fun again, instead of just the cinematics and the story and stupid stuff like that. It's like, oh, gamers actually want to play video games? Shock. So anyway, there you have it for my take on everything. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me today. If you would like to watch my streams, I stream on Wednesdays on YouTube/MelanieMac, or on Kick and Twitch, also at Melanie Mac. And then if you want me to read the Bible to you, you can check out my Bible channel, Bible Time with Melanie Mac, here on YouTube. So thank you all again. I will catch you next time. And in the meantime, go boom. Miles Morales.